Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Highly Visible Podcast. I am one of your friendly dinguses, Caden. I'm here with my other three dinguses, Cullen,
Hi.
Dan,
Yeah, sir.
and Thomas.
Super dingus extraordinaire.
We're going to talk about versus something else. Who would win and all that nonsense. So, does anybody want to start us off with a good one?
Coke versus Pepsi.
Coke.
Pepsi. Just 'cause you said Coke. I don't drink either.
I
Yeah, I
think
don't
if you
drink
have
either.
a strong take on
Okay.
Coke versus Pepsi, you're either from Atlanta or I should be questioning you because like they're just both okay.
I got a weird answer. Who would have thunk it?
hmm
If I'm putting whiskey in this Coke, in this cola, I want a Coca-Cola. But if I'm drinking it without alcohol, I want a Pepsi. Pepsi's better on its own. Coca-Cola is better with rum and whiskey. That's my stance. I'll also drink RC Cola because I don't care.
I would make a
I
bet,
like RC Cola.
and I would bet $20 that if I put out 4 cups of a cola, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, RC, and I could guarantee you could not tell which one is which.
I think there
I
will
could.
have to be a TikTok about this because I goddamn absolutely can tell the difference between Pepsi and Coke.
You
Yeah.
can?
Yes.
I've seen people who drink only one or the other, and then they get the other, and they're like, oh, whatever. They can't tell
That
the
is a
difference.
shame.
But yeah,
Those people are mouth dumb.
they fog up windows, Dan.
That's true.
Right, the ball is
I
rolling.
got a good one.
Do it.
All right, so this is from Reddit user Call Me Delta. Oh fuck, I lost it. Oh god. Who would win the presidency? A man who must use as many terms from Urban Dictionary as possible, or a man who can only speak in 17th century English?
Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
It's Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to
Yeah.
be.
We can't
People these
we
days
can't,
couldn't process Old English.
we can't get people to watch movies with subtitles. I don't think anyone's listened to Old English Man.
Old English makes my brain hurt.
I love Old English. It's fucking beautiful.
Anything
That's
that makes
one vote
Dan
for
seem smart but doesn't actually make him smart, that's what he wants. That's his goal in
I
life.
fucking hate you.
Don't hate me. I am the truth. Do not run.
All right, Dan versus Cullen. Street fight,
Me.
no weapons.
Street Fight, or Dan, I'm sorry.
Not
I'm
me.
just saying, like I'm reading Thus Spoke Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche, and the whole thing is
See?
written in Old English. Like it's old, thee, thy, thou.
And that's funny
It's
because
amazing.
like Old English is, I believe, at one point called Low German because like English is a Germanic language
Well,
before
I was
the
about
French
to say
took
that's
over.
translate, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Now, dear listener, I know you have just heard what Dan has said, and notice how it makes him seem as though he is smart, yet he is not. This is his goal in life.
I'll
is
let
to make-
everybody know
to
I got a 4 on the
confuse you.
ASVAB. It's all good. That's why I was a tanker.
To confuse you.
I have a
Got
fucking good one
4.
right now. Cullen with the two-handed broadsword versus Dan with a paper folder.
I think I win. I think I got
Tuned
it.
up.
I'm going Dan, bro.
No, I feel like that sword is real heavy, and
Pencil.
I think Dan would win in a foot race. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah, everyone beats me in a foot race.
All right, eating contest: Philly cheesesteaks. Me versus Cullen. Go.
You.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have to say you.
I thought
Just
you were
'cause I
saying
I feel
like
Philly
Cullen-
cheesesteak versus something else. I was about to be, oh, shit.
No, that's fair. But I feel like Cullen is like one of them agitated eaters. Like he's just like little at a time. He's a little fucking rabbit.
No, that's not it.
I
I'm
just feel like it. And I don't mean to like
Like-
shit on. I mean like if you sit down, are you that guy like when you and your girlfriend sit down to eat and she's like taking her first bite and you're like, oh man, that was good. Like, are you that guy? Like, all done, plates clean.
Not that exaggerated, but yes.
I'm that
Do you
guy.
eat like you just got
That's
out of
what I'm
prison?
saying. That's how I do it.
I eat smaller amounts, but I don't like. I still eat it fast.
Oh, you
I
and me
just
are
get-
up so
I
eat
get
massive
full super
amounts.
fast now.
Well, that's good. That's useful.
It is.
I walked in the break
I
room the other
imagine.
day and I seen a salad bowl and Cullen was sitting there. I was like, oh, was a rabbit just in here eating lunch or?
Dude, no
What?
shit. His
He
Taki
was like,
salad
oh.
looks really good.
Yeah, everyone shit on the Taki salad, but it great.
Listen,
No shit, though. I
All
wish I could get full faster. That would be amazing.
I refuse to eat the food that my food eats.
And do you watch The Ranch? Have
No,
you ever
that's-
watched The Ranch?
That was
I'm just
definitely
saying.
fucking Ron Swanson talking.
No, I know.
Parks
I
and
know.
Rec.
Yeah, Parks and Rec. I know. But you're literally, you sound like Bo from The Ranch. And just like fucking. Anyway.
100%. All right.
We need
Bo
one that
from
we're
the
gonna argue
ranch
about.
versus the old man neighbor from Dennis the Menace.
Never watched
Two
that.
people
And
I
it's in
don't
an-
know.
It's in an eyebrow contest.
Mm.
The dude I'm talking about is that dude with the legendary mustache. He may be dead now. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think he's still kicking. He's a badass
Is he?
man. He was in Roadhouse and he was old then.
Let's do Bruce Lee versus Jet Li.
Bruce.
Bruce?
Absolutely. Bruce Lee. Yeah. Jet Li's
Someone's
impressive.
gonna. Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
we need
let's-
to
let's-
set a rule here.
Yeah, stipulate what the rules are. Are they unmanned combat, not bare
Physical
knuckle 1-on-1? No, or are we talking about their acting skills? Because Jet Li is undoubtedly a better actor.
Well, yeah, I was about to say Bruce Lee's like a traditional martial artist that found his way onto the scene, whereas like Jet Li he's trained in traditional arts, but he's an actor by trade.
Yeah. Time cop.
My rule that I was gonna say was I don't know who either of these people are. So
Oh my
we should.
god.
I'm gonna be the. You guys need to convince me who.
You don't know
would
who
win.
Bruce
Go.
Lee is?
Bruce Lee's the only dude that's killed help me.
Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris on screen. He's the only one.
Mhm.
That's how good this motherfucker
Was that supposed
was.
to be the? Was that supposed to be like the ending argument?
Yeah. Enter the
Don't you know
Dragon.
who Chuck Norris is?
I know who Chuck Norris is.
Yeah.
Also, he
know
spawned one
that.
of my favorite parodies of all time. You guys ever watch Bruce Leroy?
No,
Yeah.
is he a dog?
Oh my god.
Shout out to Bruce Leroy, the Black Bruce Lee. Super awesome movie.
Oh,
But no,
It's
Bruce
a
Lee's the dude that
stereotype.
like put out candles with nunchucks and like played ping pong with nunchucks. He was so, but that's the thing. Like, yeah, it's not that impressive. But he also, I think he was the inventor of the 1-inch punch.
Yes.
what is that?
Are you?
Bang.
But he could
He
like
literally-
snap bricks
yeah.
and shit.
He would put his fingertips on your chest, and in the space between his fingertips and making a fist and punching you, he would knock you on your ass. It was superb.
That's crazy.
He could generate that much force. He's also one of the fastest clocked fighters. Like he's very impressive. The man's trained in
hand
traditional
speed
martial
and
arts.
foot speed, yeah, insane, bro.
Yeah. But not
I
even
feel
just
like-
the speed, but the accuracy and the power
Mhm.
behind the delivery is what's just ungodly. He is who he is for a reason. The dude, his famous, I believe it was him that was said, fear not the man that throws, 10,000 kicks once, but the man that throws one kick 10,000 times.
Yes, yes.
And yeah, Bruce Lee, yeah, fuck that. Yeah.
He also like invented his own style of martial arts and probably got the most laid of any man up to
No,
that
that's fair.
point ever. My favorite Bruce Lee fact is apparently he found it super amusing to go hang out at bars, and he would like wear like a lavender turtleneck and like nerdy glasses and read a book and sit at the bar and wait for some jockey dude to pick a fight with him and then just annihilate him, just because he
what's-
wanted to balance the world.
I'm sorry, I have to call a whole genre on YouTube out. That's funny because he's probably the first guy to ever do that, to be brave enough to do that, to kind of show these assholes not to mess with normal people.
He's a little
Absolutely.
dude.
But now you've got these dumbass like retired Rangers and SEALs going to bars or like jujitsu gyms and pretending, and then they're posting it on YouTube because they think they're fucking cool. Like, no, dude, you're just a douchebag. Like, these guys are there trying to get educated. Like, yeah, I don't know. That thing pisses. Every time I get on there and I see some dumb fucking Tim Kennedy, all right, I'm gonna pretend to be like, I know it was ironic, but still, like you're just dumb. Like, you're lame.
Mhm.
We all
And
know
Bruce,
that you're a black belt.
Bruce Lee was a big proponent for like the melding of all martial
Mhm.
arts, not just like one form. So like, he was like real big in that. Back then people were like, oh no, fucking judo's the best and boxing's the best. And he was like, no, if you combine all of them together,
And that's one of the biggest things I loved about him. Like, I liked him when I was younger, but not like, but looked
Advice?
up to him, one of my heroes, when I was younger. But and the whole point of him is the open mind, because especially in old traditional martial arts of any kind, it was a closed-minded society.
Yeah.
And not that he's the first one that was like open-minded about it, but he's the one that brought the open-mindedness of incorporating multiple forms into the mainstream.
Yeah.
Like, and he put it in front of people and showed its utility. Like,
Yes.
like,
Yeah, there are
he
people
was
who,
a very impressive individual.
people who credit him with the invention of MMA, just as
Yeah.
a concept, because he was a big proponent of like a lot of, especially in Asia, martial arts are very much hand and feet or grappling, or you know what I mean. So they kind of laughed at American and British boxers because they limited themselves so much. But if you watch film of Bruce Lee, he absolutely took the most dangerous part of boxing, the footwork and the light jab, and incorporated that into everything that he did. Because there's nothing better at keeping space and dictating the pace of a fight than a well-placed jab and some real good back out footwork, man.
He's just a man who knew his body and his momentum and the use of his ability and his weight inside and out. He has spent more time internally reflecting than most people do in their entire lives.
What's his one quote? Like, be like water.
Be like water,
something like-
dog,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
And that's kind of too, like
Be
we're talking
free-flowing.
about every martial art has its own thing that they're the best at. Well, one of the things that everyone's seen one of those videos. Man, now that I'm trying to think of it, I can't think of the name. It's the art of ultimate defense. It's the one where they do all the crazy fast hand movements. Wing Chun. Wing Chun, 90% not useful in a street fight because it all depends on each of you knowing the dance moves, you know what I mean? But that single idea of focusing purely on defense versus offense is, it's a thing that's permeated culture to the point where like Batman even talked about that. Like there's a scene in the original Batman animated series where he's like, how come no one can ever hit you when they shoot? And he's like, I have so much less to worry about because I'm not shooting back. It's pretty easy to get out of the way. He's not thinking about offense at all. He's thinking purely about defense. And then like we were talking about Obi-Wan earlier, Obi-Wan the same way. His fighting style, I can't remember the name of it because it's a weird space Jedi name, but his lightsaber fighting style was a style focused purely on defense and disarmament, not on winning. You know what I mean? And that's why he beat Anakin in the lava pit or whatever. Bruce Lee's awesome. Goated Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Felon, any more goofy ones on Reddit?
Yeah, I got another one pulled up here while you guys were talking about whatever the fuck it was you were talking about because I zoned the fuck out.
Bruce Lee had a 12-pack, all right?
The worst thing
All right.
Bruce Lee ever gave the world was his haircut. It's not bad. A lot of men in history have done a lot worse.
Any man who got laid with that haircut, I give it to him.
It's fair. The bowl cut.
All right, who would win? A man that can shoot apples out of his hands versus a man that can shoot oranges out of his hands. They can both shoot 3 fruit per second. The battle takes place in a supermarket. They do not have prep. Their moms don't have the same name. And fruit shoot out at 75 to 80 miles per hour.
Oh my god.
The
Well,
apple.
What kind of apples and what kind of oranges are we talking about here?
Regular size oranges, the red apple. What's that one called? Red
Wow.
Delicious.
Those are softer.
I'm saying the orange is going to hurt more because it's going to stay solid. You know what I'm saying? I also feel like oranges might weigh more, but I can't say that for sure.
Well, either way, I mean, they're both fruit and they're both going to explode at 90 miles an hour. So
Yeah, it's fair. You're just gonna get
It's
welted.
whoever hits the other person in the head first, basically.
Yeah.
Because you're fucked. You're done. I mean, you may not be dead, but you're fucking passed out, and then the other dude's just unloading fucking oranges on you.
So yeah, I'm thinking too, like the oranges are full of juice, right? So
Yeah,
like,
that's where I thought it went.
yeah, like maybe the oranges would like shoot a bunch at the foot real quick, like Sub-Zero shooting the thing at the floor, and then he like slips and falls, and you just pelt his ass while he's on the
not where I
ground.
went.
No.
I was thinking more like if he hits him in the chest or whatever, and that some of that juice gets in his eye, he's done. That guy's
Ooh.
done.
Citric eye juice. I mean, if we're going that way, the seeds in the apple have cyanide in them. If you can get like 70 or 80 seeds down his throat, he'll die.
Noted.
So he's got to run around with his mouth open, and as long as he's doing that, and he's got like Chris Kyle
It's a
aim,
real
he's good.
specific set of circumstances.
I
And
think
they're in a
regardless,
supermarket. That's
I'll hold them for
interesting.
you.
I think regardless, a headshot would probably be done for either of them.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
It's like
Yeah.
a fruit to
80
the,
miles an hour.
to the
That's
chrome
pretty
dome.
hardcore.
Yeah. I got a serious one. You guys want to talk about serious?
Yes. Please.
A silverback gorilla or a grizzly bear?
Gorilla.
Gorilla.
Gorilla?
Yeah.
Gorilla.
Oh, I'm grizzly bear, dude.
I mean,
just bear because bear.
neither of them are going to walk away unscathed. That's for
No.
goddamn
Oh,
sure. That's
no.
going to be a fight. But
There is one reason why I think the gorilla wins. One single solitary reason. All right. The bears and the gorilla equal teeth, right? They both have scary ass teeth, right? They're both walking on all fours for the most part, kind of, up on 2 foot. Sometimes they're equal there. They weigh about the same, probably equal there, right? I think they're stacking up equal almost all the way down the line, except for that a gorilla can throw an uppercut.
well, that they're dominant in upper body strength.
Yeah, solid.
You put
solid
chimpanzees together in a small group, and they're naturally incredibly violent towards each other.
point. Mhm.
They're
Mhm.
incredibly what is that called? Dominating. They'll just rip bits of skin off each other
Mm.
just to do it. Like a gorilla, not only does it have a natural advantage on 2 legs, it can whereas a bear will hike up on 2 legs, but that gorilla, once it gets it on its back, it's fucking done.
That's true. That is true. If it goes to the ground, yeah.
But
Mm.
but yeah, a gorilla's like just in its forearm and paw or mid or hand or whatever the fuck you call a gorilla's hand, like if it gets a clump of skin and fur, it will no longer be attached to the bear. The biggest thing that the bear has is its bite and its claw,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm almost positive with both hands a gorilla could probably snap the arm of a grizzly bear.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's too much of an advantage on one side.
Yeah, Cullen
And,
was talking about the thumbs. That's where
bears-
the thumbs come in.
Yeah, well, right. And bears are naturally territorial, like hostile over territory or hunting ground. Gorillas are just aggressive.
Mhm.
They're just fucking aggressive. Like not like outwardly they're just gonna kill everything they see, but like if they feel intimidated, they're just gonna fucking kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Like a gorilla will attack a bear, I feel, before a bear would attack a gorilla.
Agreed. Yeah, I feel like the uppercut's where it's at. He's gonna have a sledgehammer for a fist. The bear's gonna try to slash, where the gorilla could deflect. You know what I mean? Like I don't think the bear can
get his
block
arms
either.
ripped open.
Yeah, like
That's
the
cool.
gorilla will be blocking and defending itself, whereas the bear I don't think would do that. I also feel like Dan said the bear is more likely to turn tail and run, and as soon as it does that, the gorilla is just there's no. Yeah.
Like I said though, like there's a solid chance that even if the gorilla does win, it's gonna die later of blood loss. Like
Sure.
them fucking bear claws are not to be fucked with.
Mhm.
But
Not just that either, like the what do you call it? The what's the word? The endurance. The endurance of the bear, probably a little better than the endurance of the gorilla. But it's like one of those fights where one dude's like a super hard puncher, but he can't make it to the 5th round. Versus, the super endurance guy who doesn't hit very hard, but he'll hit, 20,000 times throughout the match. There's always a chance that the hard puncher could win. But statistically, the money's on the endurance guy. I feel like that's kind of what this is.
I'm almost positive there has to be data on this. Somebody's put these 2 creatures together.
Deadliest Warrior probably did something about this.
I don't know.
What do you think?
I think it depends where it would take place. If it was in a jungle, then I would give it to gorilla. But I
didn't
think
think
if it
about
was open, flat land, I'm going grizzly bear all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the bear's, if not just as strong, stronger than the fucking gorilla. Not that the gorilla is not fucking crazy fucking strong, but
I think the bigger advantage over strength that a gorilla would have, and I'm not saying that it's stronger or weaker, I'm not sure, but like it's the range of motion that a gorilla has. It's the limitations of what do you call that? A quadruped or whatever the hell it is, a dominantly four-legged animal. Like gorillas can walk around on two legs if they have to. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure who would actually win, but if I had to bet, I would probably say that gorilla.
That was fun.
There was a hunter that Joe Rogan's talking about. One of his buddies said he watched through a spotting scope a grizzly bear run down a moose and take one swat and just break this fucking moose's back. And, holy shit. Like just, it's like one swipe and it's done.
That's nuts.
So, yeah. But
now I gotta.
Go ahead.
I got a good one. I got a real good one. This one's probably gonna, get all of your brain juices going here. All right. An ordinary man versus an exact clone of that same ordinary man, but the clone is wearing a tap-out shirt.
Oh
my God. It's already there. You gave
Does
it
he
up.
also have cauliflower ear?
Oh God, it's over.
He has a snapback.
I was like, that's
with
amazing.
The clip band covering his eyebrows. That's what he has because he's the super douche.
I want to say,
Yeah.
I feel like does the clone know he's a clone?
Tom, it was a joke, Tom.
Does a child
If the
fight
clone-
harder if he knows he's
understand.
adopted?
If the clone knows he's a clone, he has less to lose, and I feel like he would give it more. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows if
there
he
you go.
wins,
He's-
he gets to kill and replace the other guy and live. But if he
He
loses,
knows if he wins, he can steal a shirt. Doesn't have to wear the shitty tap-out shirt anymore.
everyone knows the guy with the
Jesus
tap out
Christ.
shirt is going to take off his shirt as soon as the fight starts.
Mm-hmm.
Hold my spitter.
I'll say the one that I said earlier when you guys were not here, or you two were here, but Dan wasn't here. So Jackie Chan holding a baby versus Jackie Chan holding a bunch of vases, but he doesn't want any trouble.
God damn it. That's funny.
I don't know.
Can he use the vases as weapons?
I
Well,
mean,
he doesn't want, probably don't want him to break though.
I think they would just both apologize to each other.
Mm-hmm. I nice vase.
Jackie Chan's such an OG.
He
God
is super
damn it.
nice too.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. I have not yet seen his movie Foreigner, where like it's his like most serious role that he's played, like this dad whose daughter gets abducted or some shit. Like it's basically a Liam Neeson
Taken?
movie, but yeah, well no,
Nice.
but it's like I guess it's a fighting movie or some shit, but I don't know. But I haven't yet to see that. It's the only role I've ever even heard of him being serious. But yeah, Jackie Chan's an OG.
Have you guys
That's
seen the one
awesome.
with him and Jet Li? I can't remember what it was called.
No.
It was super cool because Jackie Chan did a drunken ninja master style, and it was like the first time that it had been accurately portrayed in film or whatever. But like having both of them in the same movie was so good. I can't remember what it's called, but it was so good. Jet Li Limitless, man. I went through a real kung fu phase.
Fucking
Early
Bulletproof
aughts.
Monk.
Yeah, son.
God damn it.
Bulletproof Monk was good, bro.
Oh yeah, I liked all them guys, man.
Mhm.
I loved all those movies.
This is a good one. It's funny. It says 100 men in quotations or more versus the rains down in Africa.
That is funny.
Oh,
I have to say, when Cullen was saying his, like the ordinary man, I thought he was going to be like, what's that meme one that was going around, the Florida guy or the Florida man? Yeah,
Florida
I thought
man wins every one of these fights.
that's what you were going to say. That would have been funnier, but yeah, the tap out shirt. God
An
damn it.
ordinary man just from Florida.
Yeah.
All right, so Thomas earlier was talking about cartoons or whatever before we started. It's like everyone just pick one. And as soon as he said that shit, I was like, who wins boxing match? Butters versus SpongeBob. Go.
Ooh, SpongeBob.
Jesus.
SpongeBob.
I think it's Butters.
I think it's Butters too. Butters has that like Gohan anger rage power.
I feel like the reason
SpongeBob has nothing.
SpongeBob has superpowers because he's like a real cartoon and not a realistic cartoon. Like SpongeBob can like do a bunch of stuff that Butters can't do. He can like,
Thomas, his arms broke when he lifted teddy bears.
but he also can like stretch himself into a giant
That's fair.
weird shape and like swallow Butters whole and then shoot
Mr.
him out of his head.
Fantastic.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's got the cartoon
Fair.
superpowers.
I thought this was
He
boxing.
also has fucking training from
It is
Sandy
boxing.
Cheeks.
Yeah,
Okay,
see? No, he got his ass whooped by Sandy Cheeks. Let's be
right,
clear.
but who doesn't get their ass whooped by their master? Right?
That's fair. That's fair.
Obi-Wan whooped Anakin's ass.
Remember when Bubble Bass was punching? Or no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Was Bubble,
Yes.
yeah. He was punching SpongeBob. Like
They fucking
like-
tuckered
And
out.
he's just laughing.
he took it out and he killed over. Like
God damn.
I don't know why Butters
SpongeBob
could do the
is
same thing.
indestructible. Yeah.
Yes, he's a sponge.
I think it'd
Can't-
just be a
you can't
draw,
hurt him.
probably. It goes to 9 rounds, and it's just fucking, or however many rounds are in a boxing match,
Well,
it's just over.
If you were to say SpongeBob
won.
versus Professor Chaos, then I might change my answer.
Yeah.
oh,
Solid.
wow. Now we're
I
getting
feel
it.
like if
Ring
it's
of
Butters,
destruction
oil.
and doom.
if it's Butters versus SpongeBob, it may stop being a boxing match and start being like a nice off.
Lou.
Sarcastic.
Lou, what's your name? I am SpongeBob. I'm Butters. I really like coins. Do you like to collect coins? This is my spatula. 17 hours later, the match is called a draw because no one wants to watch this shit anymore.
Everyone fell asleep within the first 2 minutes. Like how Caden's argument was, well, what if it was SpongeBob versus Butters plus foil? Then what?
Yeah.
That was your argument.
It's all about the mentality, bro.
That's all that is. Jesus Christ.
And Professor
Yeah, I think that
Chaos.
one just ends in a draw.
Maybe
Maybe
Well,
if I had to pick one to win, it's Butters, because you've seen SpongeBob just be outright pathetic in a fight. We haven't seen that from Butters, so that's it. There you go. We just don't know.
It's fair. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I also feel like SpongeBob could probably just snatch up Butters' head with a jellyfish net and just ragdoll him around the whole boxing ring.
That's not allowed in boxing.
Pshaw. Pshaw.
There are no jellyfish.
Okay, solid. All right, Butters wins.
Listen. All right, Caden has a big one that we talked about at work that we definitely need to make sure we get in here, and just in case it's long, we should get it in there.
All right, so we do it now. All right,
Yeah, I think we should do it.
you take. We'll say the 10. Say the top 10 most powerful Jedi in Star Wars versus the top 10 most powerful wizards in Harry Potter.
And I've never watched either of them, so I get to be the judge. You guys have to
Star
convince
Wars,
me.
100%.
Wait,
Star
did you
Wars.
say
have-
Jedi?
We have to have
Like-
rules.
Anybody that can use the Force and lightsabers, pretty much.
Okay, so Sith included?
Yeah, Sith included.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck, then the Sith. Okay, yeah, Jedi and Sith. Absolutely, that combo. But see, that if it was just the Jedi, I think the Wizards would have them because the Jedi ain't killing a bunch of younglings. Oh, sorry.
Well, the 10 most powerful wizards aren't younglings. We're
Jedi's
talking
minus moral.
Dumbledore, McGonagall, Voldemort, all those motherfuckers.
I mean, Harry's got to be in there somewhere. He is like
He's not the most
essentially
powerful wizard, bro.
one of the 10,
Nope.
right?
Nope,
No?
not even close.
Oh, never mind. If they're none of them are kids, then absolutely. But well, no, not. But that's they could like fucking. I've seen like the first one ever, maybe, where they were like really young. So
Yeah.
I don't really know what they're all capable of. But I imagine it's some crazy shit.
Harry is a victim of circumstance. He is actually a non-exceptional wizard in most ways. He is really good at a lot of stuff, but he's not really great at anything except for just never giving up and the power of friendship and stuff. Like
Gag.
yeah, the
I'm sure
the-
Anna can cut through that.
Sure.
If we're talking combat, he's a good man to have on your squad. He's loyal. He's fairly clever. He's fairly brave. All that kind of shit. But yeah, like there are like 50 wizards that are more powerful than him. That if we're talking about fighting, but this is my
Okay.
question: are we talking like 10 wizards and 10 force users dropped on a desert island naked and then they fight, or are we talking like they have access to all their stuff, like?
All their stuff.
If we're talking all their stuff, yeah, the Jedi / Sith win because they have a spaceship that can blow up the whole planet the wizards are on.
Well, like
Okay,
I mean,
no,
I
none of
imagine
that.
with the
it's like
universe,
toe-to-toe.
not the
Yeah.
universe, just like everything on their person.
Yeah,
So, like-
they're
So-
in immediate gear.
I was gonna say, like,
Lightsabers,
They're
wands.
shitty blasters and their lightsabers. I know Star Wars.
mhm.
Their blasters aren't shitty. It's those who aim them that are
So
shitty.
there
Even though
are
they're all
lots
clones of a fucking master bounty hunter.
There are all weird stuff
I'm gonna need
about
a like
this.
actual. I need a formatted argument here. All right.
Well, this is my
I do not feel swayed either way currently.
magic and the Force are similar, but which one supersedes the other? This is my question. So
it's all about.
Go ahead.
Oh no, it's not. You also have to take into account the type of people behind both. Like wizards aren't soldiers, they're not warriors, they're not killers. Both Jedi and Sith alike have claimed lives, and they do it well.
Legit, that's the
Sith have no fucking regard.
There was a wizard civil war when Voldemort first got killed and stuff. Like there are some wizards
so they got Voldemort, which is like some bastard, isn't he?
Well,
so
he's the Darth Vader of this.
Wow, good argument, Dan.
Universe.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if I had to put some fucking noseless lizard guy with a stick up against fucking some dude who almost fucked his sister.
And that's another thing you got to think about too. Like,
what
if he's talking about, it's the whole thing. You don't know. It's fine.
Yeah.
They definitely did it though. Anyway, if you put Darth Vader and Voldemort in a room together, there might just not be a fight.
Choke.
They might just literally like tackle each other and try to suck each other off because they're like the same dude.
Well, if we're going that route, I think Vader would just rip him apart. I think.
I don't think so, but
Dude,
this is my thing. This is what I'm saying.
Here it is.
We have to decide what does the Force or magic more powerful? Because if Voldemort just Avada Kedavras him and happens to hit him, he's dead instantly, right? But if Darth Vader is able to force hold his hand so he can't point the wand at him, then that is completely out the window, right? But,
I mean,
do you see what I'm saying?
Listen,
well, that's
dude.
the thing. Like, fucking Vader alone would just like Darth Vader has killed less people with his lightsaber than he has with his use of the Force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like his fucking use of the Force is not unparalleled, but it's fucking unreal. Like
This is my thing though. Like if he force chokes me and I'm Voldemort, I can.
he ain't gonna just do that. If your main weapon against him, Darth Vader isn't just gonna do that. If your main weapon against him is a wand, when you go to grab that wand and go to aim it at him, he's gonna stop, hold your hand, and break the bones in that hand to where you can't use the wand. He's gonna kill you slowly, but he's gonna do it in a way where he knows you're incapacitated.
But this is my question. As soon as I feel the Force acting on me as Voldemort, I can fucking disapparate. I can literally teleport from here to anywhere with a thought. Don't even have to have my wand. So
fucking instant transmission.
Yes. Would Voldemort even be able to touch, or would he even be touched by Darth Vader? Because he literally can teleport out of the way whenever he wants to.
See,
Listen,
that's
bro.
when you got fucking. Go ahead. Yeah.
We really didn't see the limit of the Force through all of Star Wars until the Kenobi series. Watching Darth Vader grab a fucking ship out of when it's flying, throw it to the ground, and rip it apart with just the Force, like ripping giant chunks out.
I don't
of the
deny
fucking
that.
ship.
I actually just watched a video. The science man who I think it's Shoddycast. It was one of those awesome podcasts that uses science to talk about stupid pop culture things. There's a scene in one of the video games where Darth Vader, I think it's the new one with the redheaded kid anyway, there's a scene where he holds back the ocean from like flooding into this chamber, and he calculates that he's literally holding back like 17 million tons of water or some ridiculous shit. It's like an insane amount of force he's able to generate using just the Force. Super powerful, absolutely intimidating. But if I'm Voldemort and I'm on that ship he's about to destroy, literally disapparate. I'm on the surface. Totally fine. What are you gonna do now?
They're both definitely powerful for sure. I think it is going to boil down to battle IQ and, like the heart in it. Like, I don't know. Like you have a few probably on the wizard side that have like this bloodlust. But if like Jedi alone, I mean, they're capable of defending life, absolutely, and taking life, but in the defense and service of the good and the good side of the Force and the light. But like if you're involving the Siths like Maul, Dooku, and Dooku's kind of a anyway, and Grievous even. Dude's that doesn't even have fucking soul. Like it's Those dudes have amazing battle IQ. They have an absolute stunning capability with the Force. Not as much, like not everyone is on the same playing field as like I don't know if all the wizards are, but like of their like knowledge of their use of their abilities and shit. But like, man, that would be a rough fucking thing to watch because there's gonna be a lot of
Magic is
dead
also
friends.
so much more creative than the Force, though, because like
But
you talk
now
about
see
Grievous,
that.
right? Grievous is made out of metal, right?
Mhm.
What if I know a spell that turns metal into strawberry jam?
Right, but can
Takes me
you
1
like?
second to kill Grievous.
That's the problem is that also too, and I'm not trying to like shit on everything, but like
Please.
just think about it. Like battle IQ is this too. It's in the moment. You have this. There's no second chances. You're all in this fight. You're here until you die or win.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, how stable are you? Like these dudes that we're talking about on
okay.
the lightsaber bearing side have seen combat and have made quick decisions that have resulted in victory. The majority of wizards probably have not. And while their friends being ripped apart by the Force, are they going to remember that they once in chemistry class remembered this fucking spell that's going to immobilize, if they're going to go Magneto on this guy? Are you going to remember your entire arsenal of spells by muscle memory and cast them correctly?
I feel like at this point we would switch our wizard, our toughest wizard from Voldemort to Dumbledore, because Dumbledore wasn't the powerful wizard, but only because he refused to go all the way to the dark side. You know what I mean? And like Voldemort is more powerful, but Dumbledore is the guy who judos all of his stuff. You know what I mean? Like the scene I'm thinking of is the showdown in the Ministry of Magic where all the fireplaces are and stuff. He literally hurls the glass from 1,000 broken windows at him at Dumbledore all at once. This giant wave of shards of glass, and instead of trying to dodge it or blow it up or counter it with force, Dumbledore just turns it back into sand so that he gets hit with a wave of sand instead of a wave of shards of glass. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the kind of thing that would make the wizards have an advantage over the Jedi and Sith, because they're fighting with the tools of war, whereas Dumbledore is fighting with like the elemental pieces of the universe more. Like the Jedi seem to be more energy based in their skill set, whereas the wizards are more imagination based. And as a humanistic, creative, imaginative hippie fuckstick, I think imagination wins over brute force any day. This has been brought to you by
closing arguments
Thomas.
here.
I think me and
closing
Thomas just
arguments here,
provided some
both
solid
sides.
ass closing argument. Okay,
Yeah.
No, I need a final few sentences here.
We-
That was like a fucking diatribe,
little
dialogue,
bit.
fucking monologue.
This is another point we
Like,
have
I'm
to go
fucking-
across.
You're a
What do you
lawyer.
want?
You're a lawyer. I want your closing statement. Go.
Caden,
Okay.
did you say
I'll-
it was 10
I
versus
want
10?
Caden to speak too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, Caden hasn't
Because
said shit, and this is like
That's
his
the
dog
next
and pony.
thing. We're talking about individual battles, but if it's 10 versus 10, now we have to figure out which group are going to be able to work together cohesively as a team versus the other team. Will Voldemort and Dumbledore work together to save their own ass? Whereas, is Darth Vader and Yoda going to work together to save their own ass? Like, that's a...
Yoda would work with the dark side to save it all. Yes.
I think
I believe.
Dumbledore
I
would
think
work
he's
with
smarter
Voldemort
than that.
too, yeah. Oh, this is juicy.
And that's
Come on,
also
Caden.
like, yeah. What do you got?
I just think the Force is too powerful. I think if Darth Vader can bring down flying ships that weigh who knows how much and rip them apart, there's no reason he couldn't just go and just force crush someone into a fucking marble,
But wizards can also do things like make themselves intangible so they can walk through walls and shit. So like as soon as they feel that, they could, you know what I mean? Like I feel like
I'm wondering if his use of the Force is strong enough to like nullify magic. Like, could he put somebody
Yes.
like in Doctor Strange? He put somebody in like a mirror dimension. Like, could you do that? Like, put somebody in a hamster ball of Force to where not even magic can escape.
and vice versa. Could you teleport or transform somebody on the other side with magic into being like a ghost? You know what I mean? Like if I can make you not able to even interact with the world anymore, what can you do to me?
I was about to say there's that too, but then at the same time, like fucking Yoda was Force projecting. or
Yeah.
not even him, just him. Luke, Jesus,
Yeah.
was force projecting,
Mhm.
and he wasn't even he wasn't even dead yet.
Mhm.
So like force projecting, what, across another continent? I think he
Yeah.
was
Another planet from another planet. Yeah.
Oh, another planet, yeah, while
Ridiculous
still
distance.
alive. Like that's just
Mm.
I don't know. Yeah, there's a
Mm.
lot of things to consider, but
Yeah.
I would have to take Star Wars on this one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just a contrarian, but I don't know. I feel like the same way the puncher always has a chance. I think that the Wizards would come up with some weird, quirky shit that would win them the day. Or
I'm
they
sure,
would use
like,
the power of friendship. They're much better at
Yeah.
that than the Jedi and the Sith.
I think if you had like that battle 100 times, I'm sure the Wizards are going to win sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fair.
But
fair.
But I think the Saber users are going to take the majority of the times, though. I think.
Mhm.
The whole thing changed, and I'll be
Well-
honest, the whole thing changed when you told me that the Sith were involved.
Yeah.
The fighting style and the ethics and the battlefield knowledge and all that is much different between Jedi and Sith. Not that like they fight obviously because they're exact opposites, but they're both equally capable. But like one kills kids and shit and has no regard for other life, and one doesn't.
You guys really tried, but I think Thomas had a better argument. Is that when your guys' arguments were just like, well, he's stronger, or like they kill people, or like okay, but every time he gave you a scenario, he was like, but what about this? They could do this, and this was my thought beforehand. So I did have a bias. I will admit. I was like,
Yeah,
I feel
just,
like they have more stuff. They have more shit in their arsenal to do. So I do lean Harry Potter as well.
I just want you guys to have this image of Darth
As a
Vader
person who's
being
seen
turned
neither.
into a ferret by Mad Eye Moody and being shoved into the pants of a fat kid.
The whole thing on that, and we talked about this
Jesus
briefly,
Christ.
is exactly that. It's having a bunch of tools in your toolkit can be a huge advantage, and having only one fucking tool in your toolkit can be an advantage. It's about how you use them and how you call on them in that time. Like,
Yeah.
are you going to remember everything when it comes down to it? And if so, yeah, you're basically all fucking powerful. Or are you not used to seeing your friends getting force ripped apart? So you're going to fucking freeze, and guess
Yeah.
what, bitch? You're next. Like, it just depends. Like,
Man.
that would be one of them things you put it into a simulation, and like Caden said, 9 times out of 10, or like, you do it 100 times, there's going to be a handful of times the Wizards are just going to stomp ass, and they're going to come out 10 for 10. But I think, yeah, but whatever. Yeah.
So that's a fair point, but also like, okay, so their friends, one of their friends just got fucking torn in half, right? Well, fucking, you just watched one of the dudes, I don't fucking know Star Wars people, one of the most powerful dudes in this universe get turned into a frog. How do you think those other 9 are going to react? They're going to be like, what the fuck? Like, there's
Another-
a shock and awe to both sides on this.
Another layer that just occurred to me. If you turn Darth Vader into a ferret, can he still use the Force as a ferret?
Ferret
Oh,
Force.
man. I would watch that movie.
Maybe. I
I'd
don't
watch
know.
that movie so hard.
If you turn
We're generating
Yoda
so
into
many
a
questions.
chinchilla, can he still backflip around and kick someone's ass?
Jesus Christ.
Could. All right, let me think here.
I'm a chinchilla.
Watching-
I am.
Yeah, watching Yoda just absorb Force lightning.
Yeah.
Could they also absorb magic and
Yeah,
then
or-
redirect it?
Would it be like Superman in the DC universe? Superman can you can shoot him in the eyeball with a bullet and it'll bounce off. But if you hit him with magic, he's like, "Ah!" That's why Shazam was such a big problem for him. So is it like, do they not have defenses against each other? That is fascinating.
There's so much to go into, I think.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then we haven't even gotten into the spaceships yet.
I know.
If I'm on a
Now,
broom and you're on a speeder, I feel like you're going to kick my ass.
I feel like if we
But if I'm
go
riding a dragon,
Star Wars universe versus Harry Potter universe, I think Star Wars wins too. I think
as a media brand, is that what we're saying? Or just
Like,
as
as far as anything that's in the Star Wars universe versus
Like,
anything
what-
that's in the
compose an army from this universe and an army from this universe and they fight? Or are you saying who has the better franchise? Because I would go with Star Wars for better franchise. Absolutely.
better
It's just so
franchise,
bigger.
yeah.
So much bigger.
Maybe okay, we're gonna go to this planet because the wizards are there. We're gonna kill them. Oh, well, here's the Death Star. That we just turn it into dust. The planet, not even go down there, or what?
And
so.
just glass the whole thing like Tatooine. I just learned that the other day. Tatooine is a sandy desert place because like a million years ago, the Rakatans glassed the planet until it was literally glass, and then the glass slowly broke up over millions of years into sand, and now it's a desert.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine being so pissed at one dude that you turn a whole planet into a marble?
Yes, I have been that mad at Dan many times. I just lack capability. Cause.
All right, can we do a dumb one now?
Yeah, a goofy one.
Uncle Grandpa
Someone have
versus
one?
the Easter Bunny.
100 third
who
graders
that
versus
is.
you.
Do we have weapons?
Nope.
You
You versus 100 third
probably
graders.
beat my ass.
Me specifically?
Yes, you specifically.
Where are we like in a football field, or like can I like run into an alley and like 300 them into a small like can I funnel them to where I only have to fight 3 or 4 at a time, or are they coming
About
from all directions like
The
zombies?
Roman Coliseum.
Roman Coliseum, all 100 at once? I'm screwed. Yeah, there's no way. I would
it's
just
gonna
die
sound
in a
bad.
sea of tiny fists.
Exactly. I
Stop.
would love to try.
Me too. I would
Oh
too.
God.
I give it a hell. If I go into this like alternate universe or fake reality or whatever, oh dude, I'd give it a hell.
What would your strategy be? What at
Mine?
Coliseum? They're coming from all 360 degrees. They're all just coming at you all at once. What do you do?
No weapons? Is that what you
Mhm.
said? Was that a stipulation?
Yes.
Well, the most what do you call that? The toughest, most pain inducing, and the things that you'll get longevity out of in direct conflict are your elbows and your knees.
Mm-hmm.
So you can deliver the most power, the most pain, and they'll last the longest without breaking.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you just become a whirlwind of fucking elbows and just so many broken noses. Like, how
That's what
much
I was
pain can
thinking.
a third grader sustain?
Not much. I think
Not
one
much.
You
good
fucking
hit,
break
right?
that kid's nose. Like, I mean, it may be you punch that first one so hard he fucking dies. The other ones may run.
I got it. I just realized what you're supposed to do. The first one that
Give them
comes,
Go-Gurts.
you just push him down. You grab both of his feet and you start swinging him around in a circle.
I was
and then
waiting till
everyone
somebody
who
to say some shit
approaches.
like that. Just catches. Fuck.
Once the first kid explodes, you grab the next one.
That's right. You're just spinning around fucking legs.
Either that, or I was thinking you just hold your arms out like this, like you're one of the Wonder Twins or Wonder Woman, and you just start spinning around.
I would also like to just see like just straight like no antics, no jokes. Like instead of, I don't know, third graders is a bad way to say it, but like just straight up, like I'm not gonna do any chauvinistic bullshit. I'm just gonna stand here and beat the shit out of one by one to see how long I can go. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Like
when I
I'm
play
taking.
VR, that's what I do to warm up to play VR. My gladiator fighty magic sword fighty game. I go to
Fight
the
your
arena
kids.
where it's one person at a time, and I just don't even grab any weapons. I just beat them to death with my bare hands, one at a time. It is the most thrilling warm up. It's a great way to blow off some steam.
Can I do
If
you
we
one better
ever-
now?
Do it.
Okay. 100 third graders with katanas versus you with a katana.
No, done. Too many
Kill
edits.
Bill shit.
It's
I thought you were
easier
going
to
to say 100 kids with a katana versus you with an Uzi.
With an
Yeah.
AR-15.
You can only lose so
Jesus
much blood.
Christ.
It don't fucking matter. Yikes! I approve of that.
A bad take.
Yikes. Can we go
Oh,
back to the
wow.
Uncle Grandpa one? Let's do that. Uncle Grandpa versus Santa Claus. How about
I don't know
that?
who that is.
I have a serious one that I'd like to talk about with you three before this is over, but we can definitely go. Let's.
I don't
like,
know.
keep-
We're edging, man.
I
Fucking
I think we got like 5 minutes
throw
left.
it on the
Oh
table.
shit!
Throw it.
Oh, okay. So, genuinely, freedom or peace? Freedom versus peace. If you had to live your life under one,
Just-
absolute freedom or absolute peace.
That's a
Peace
thinker
of
there.
mind, of soul, of all. It's peace in from the inner of your own body projected out into the world, or freedom. The same
Wait,
way.
Personal peace or like peace for the world?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
All of
the
it.
hard one.
If you're absolutely free, it's not like, hey, everyone, Cullen's the only one that has absolute freedom.
No, that's what I meant.
That's not how it works. It's
Well,
if
what
you
you
had,
just said was like inner peace, not
if
not
you were
peace for
standing
the
at
world.
the precipice of infinite possibility and you could speak one thing into being, and it's either absolute freedom or absolute peace,
Peace.
which would you pick?
I'm inclined to
I
say
don't-
peace, but like, doesn't
Peace.
peace? I mean,
That's the altruistic.
absolute peace is also like very easily accomplished through authoritarianism and bad
Yeah.
things that we don't want. Whereas
That's it, but
But
absolute freedom is also like, that's also anarchy, like, you know, Mad Max
can
and
I
shit.
choose neither?
Nope.
If I could choose neither, I'd choose neither. Because the
That's
thought
not-
of every one of you people having absolute freedom is so terrifying. It's not
Mhm.
even worth it. It's not an altruistic. Oh, we should all have peace. Like no,
no,
there's
no,
some crazy
no.
motherfuckers being kept in check by laws. Like I'm good.
Mhm.
Absolutely, but those
Yeah.
people could also be kept in check with bullets.
That's
Which
not peace.
that's where absolute peace comes from.
I
That's
didn't,
what
I
I'm
didn't
saying.
say peace. I said freedom.
Oh, I get you. Yeah, but I don't want to kill people,
I don't know. I
You're just a
mean,
goddamn loser.
so I'm
but
good.
I'm just kidding. But okay,
You're
but
a
you say
loser. You're not a serial killer like me.
no.
You don't got
but
bodies in the crawl space.
it's funny, you know. It's an easy thing to poke fun at, and it's hard to actually get a few people to actually take it seriously and give a well thought out answer. Because a lot of people will either say freedom because fuck the government, like dumbass, you can't even grow your own food. Shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
You couldn't
sure.
survive. Or you have the same people that are like, I wish for peace because I would sacrifice my freedom for no,
Mhm.
you just want to be a saintly douchebag.
Yeah, I'm like halfway right down the middle.
here's what my thinking is. I think the majority of people that go to peace and then the majority of people that go to freedom, there's going to be, while you're in each place, you're going to start to want the other thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you're in a freedom, like the world might be fucking chaos. You're thinking, man, like it would be nice to go outside and not fucking worry about getting shot, or people that are like, oh my god, this is kind of boring. Well, I can't do what I want to do.
1984.
Well, that's the thing. Like you got to remember too, peace is peace. It's not like something that just like fades. It's so like the individual and all else, everyone would be free of want. They would be free of any exterior desire. You would just be completely at peace no matter the circumstance. So
Ooh, that's different.
authoritarianism could reign over you. You just would be indifferent to it
You
because
wouldn't
you're at
care.
peace.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They could, but at the same token, but it could be. It could also be the fucking Garden of Eden. Who knows? I'm not trying to paint it evil, But and also, complete freedom could lead to a stable society, or it could lead to fucking everybody letting nukes off. It could be whatever it is.
What if instead of them fighting each other and it's versus, what if the world is just now divided and half of every country is all freedom and half of every country is all peace, and you just you got to go back and forth between the two? I've often thought about this actually. Like, what if we had different zones in the country where there were just more or less laws? Like, if you're some wild motherfucker who thinks it's worth the risk that they might be mugged at any moment to also not worry about going to jail for certain things, like maybe that's where you are comfortable living, versus somebody like, I got fucking kids and I got, arthritis and I got all this old man shit that I got dealing with. Like, I would probably edge more towards the like less actual freedoms but more stability section, you know what I mean? And you could move back and forth depending on what stage of your life you're in. Like when I was 19, all freedom would be a lot more fun than when I'm 40, you know what I mean? Whereas like when I'm 80, I'm like all peace. But when I'm 90 and I want to die, I want all freedom again. I don't know.
But yeah, that's the thing though. It's not, yeah, and that's the thing. Like you can think definitely about the extremes, but also take into consideration like there's so many different ways to play it, because a lot of people do. They're like, oh, peace is fucking heaven on earth. It's not heaven on earth. That's not at all what the fuck it is. It's peace. It's specifically named peace for a reason. It's you're not worried about how fat you are. You're not worried about bills. You're not worried about money. You're not worried about anything. You're at peace. You're completely calm. You are on earth to enjoy the pleasures that you have until you're gone, and you're not even concerned with that. Freedom is you are brought into this world and you live by whatever principles and doctrines that you have. You do it yourself, by yourself. If you decide to be a bag of shit, you can go be a bag of shit, but eventually you're going to run into somebody who is either a bigger bag of shit or somebody who spent more time on a rifle range and has a stricter code and doesn't like what you're doing. You're going to run into a brick wall eventually. You'll answer. Nobody can just run scot-willing or scot-free fucking in the wind forever. You will answer for the horrible things you do, whether there are laws or not, because there is still conscience. There's a universal conscience that exists.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not born just completely fucking void of values. Like,
Interesting, dude. Like it's almost you could reword it and say, would you rather have really high highs and really low lows, or would you rather have an even way all the time? You know what I mean? Like, and they all freedom, like, yeah, you get to ride a dirt bike while you do cocaine on a roller coaster and whatever you want. And you have the highest highs, but like, you also might get, stomped to death in a bar because you looked at some lady for 10 seconds too long and just
Absolutely.
die a horrible, torturous death as well. Meanwhile, on the peace side, like, yeah, maybe, you don't get the dirt bike cocaine, but you also don't have to worry about anyone stabbing you in the back while you have a sandwich.
True.
I don't know. I think
There he is.
if I had to choose, it'd probably be freedom. I think just because a world where I don't know, just it's kind of scary to me. Like that's like the great reset shit that people talk about. Like you will have nothing and you will be happy. Like I don't know. I like the freedom to be able to sit here on this podcast and talk about shit. I like the freedom to order pizza at fucking midnight because I'm a fat fuck, But there are
I'm about to do that
pros
too.
and cons of that. I mean, kind of like you guys said, like there's pros and cons to each thing.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I would like the option to weave in and out.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I get that, especially with age, if you survive, absolutely.
Mhm.
But it's also about like a factor, a big thing for me that when I was sitting there and I was rattling this around and all that, and I was like, okay, so say peace, basically, it's not indifference. I hate that, but I can't think of any other word. It's tolerance for all that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But so
Acceptance.
So say, like you said, like half the world is that and half the world is freedom, and some bag of shit from the freedom side comes over and is a psychopath, so he just runs roughshod over the fucking peace and owns it
Something like
now.
that.
It's his because no one else is just like, they're all just asleep.
yeah,
So, like, could you, not saying that you would knowingly allow it to happen, but you necessarily wouldn't be able to do anything about it because
I didn't think about this, like that whole argument that like if you take guns away from nice people, then only mean people have guns or whatever. But like if you're on the peace side, there's something maintaining that peace in place, right? So if that dude did come over and just decide,
that's all. This is just a fictional world. Yeah, there's no
Right.
like peace police. Yeah, none of that. Like it's just
so that
these
reminds
two
me.
worlds are supposed to exist separate of each other completely.
That's interesting. There's a lot of stuff like that in sci-fi, like where there's lots of different colonies on different planets and they all kind of have a different level of risk and reward that they're all agreed to. You know what I mean? Like if you live on a mining colony, obviously the risk is a little bit higher, but you also get the chance for a higher reward versus like, you want to be on a supply ship who just literally goes back and forth in a straight line. The risk is pretty low, but you got a guaranteed paycheck. That's interesting, man.
But at the same time, in the freedom side, you could be sitting there eating dinner and somebody just kicks your fucking door open, shoots you, and rapes your wife. Like,
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay then.
It goes south
But
real
anyway.
fast.
yeah, like it is.
Yeah.
It's the fucking Wild West essentially. But you can also have the freedom to find like-minded, good valued people and form a community and form your own social network. Like that's
Yeah.
completely possible. It doesn't mean you can't have any fucking social connections.
Here's a weird question. If you're on the peace side, do you still get to read all the books and movies and TV shows that are inspired by the freedom side?
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Because that's a
It's
big
all
thing too.
propaganda.
Oh, that's legit. If you choose the peace side, like the art that's created in a world where you have no want, is it better or worse?
I just imagine what for peace, and it's just me and my own dumbass limited faculty, but I just imagine peace being that whole shit about how like some people imagine heaven, like you're just everything's like bright white clean and everybody's walking around in like thin robes,
simple?
like yeah, like nobody wants anything, they're just walking around asking each other how their same fucking repetitive day is going and everybody's just blind to it.
Everyone's just on Namaste.
Yeah, there's just one fucking person that like walks around indifferent to the entire occasion, but makes sure that nobody's stepping out.
Yeah, that's
I
why I
like
think,
Go ahead.
like people that have freedom are going to yearn for peace, and the people that have peace are going to yearn for freedom.
But if you have peace, you wouldn't yearn for it. That's the thing. I understand what you're saying. Somebody who is put into the peace loving world or the free loving world and has they're that one fuck up that has like this inclination for the other thing that they don't even know exists yet or didn't even know existed. Yeah, absolutely. You could definitely have one of those. But yeah, the majority of the populace, the rest of them, they're going to be the black sheep. They're going to be the one. But
This whole thing makes me think of the movie Demolition Man. Anybody ever seen it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of that same thing. Like on the above ground side, the government is very authoritarian, super controlling. Nobody swears. There's no sex. There's no drugs. There's no alcohol. There's no fun really. But then like on the underground, like they're all living in the sewer and eating rat burgers and stuff. But they're like listening to metal and like, doing what they want to do. You know what I mean?
There's a game. I can't remember what it's called. It's we happy few or something like that. Something like that. It's pretty much a world where like, you wake up and you're supposed to take your happy pill and then you walk around, fucking everybody's like this, the world's all happy. You don't take it and you wake up and the world's like fucking shit and like, whoa, this is a fucked up place. And there's, these happy police walking around making sure you take your happy pill. Yes, sir, I did. All right, keep going. And then if you didn't, you realize they're fucking bags of shit. The world's fucking shit. And they'll try to kill you or extort your, whatever to get you to take your pill or because you wake up to it and you're like, oh my God, this place is fucked up. And you try to wake up more people to it. And yeah.
It looks like it's called We Happy Few if anyone wants to check it out. Looks like there's a
it's
couple
literally fucking Brave New World by Aldous Huxley.
Yeah.
Literally.
Very literally.
Yep.
Yeah. But that the Brave New World thing, not exactly, but kind of that is like they use a opiate to keep them, the opiate of the masses. Yeah. To keep everybody just, what's the word? Sterile.
Pacified.
Yeah. Pacified. But that's kind of how I imagine it. Like, and it doesn't have to be so, iron fucking fist overhanded, but, yeah, it's just, it's an entire fucking species of advanced beings that are just pacified because they just don't care. They don't want for anything. And I'm not saying, some people that could make all the difference in their life. Like their life has been such shit. They're like, I would fucking give everything just to be that. Okay, cool. That's absolutely, it's not like you're less or you're a coward. I don't give a shit what you pick as long as it's thought out. If you're just like freedom, like, but I don't believe in guns, you will not last long.
Yeah, I feel like it's also like like you said, like what is your baseline? Like, are you someone who's like a dopamine seeker who always needs some shit to be going on so that you can feel content with your life? Or are you one of those people who's like hiding from stuff because you need less? You know what I mean? Like, that would definitely influence what side you pick to live on.
I feel like the freedom side, it's kind of like The Walking Dead, where like, this huge zombie outbreak and it kind of resets everything and people are, people either band together or there's a lot of like, backstabbing and like, oh yeah, I'm a good person. Let's band up together. Oh, you have a community with food and water and all shit. All right, we'll go. And you tell your buddies, yeah, that's a whole community over in this area. They have all this stuff. And you get your buddies and you fucking bring back a armed fucking rebellion and, take over this good community. But
there's also that weird thing too. Like when you're in a group, the size of your group will dictate how you plan for the future too. So like if your group is just you and your homies, then your mentality is way different than if you're thinking of your group as your village or your clan or your country or your species. You know what I mean? Like when there's a zombie apocalypse or whatever, and there's a legit chance the human race will just be snuffed out, your priorities will probably change. You know what I mean? Whereas like you're going to focus way more on making sure the children survive if you're worried about making sure your species stays alive versus if you're just trying to, you know, maintain the status quo in some, you know, gang fight you have going on with some other smaller group. You know what I mean?
For this, I'll close with this. For this is just my final argument, but it as it stands now, my limited faculties and all that, but this is basically my summary, and my decision would be freedom. And it boils down to essentially what I believe would be freedom is it's sacrificing peace and all that for struggle, for suffering, but for a chance for deep meaning and purpose and all that. And I think peace, the biggest thing that it lacks is soul and meaning. Absolute indifference is void of meaning and purpose. So to some, it'll be worth the trade, and that's absolutely fine. We're not all the same. I don't give a shit. It's fine. It's not a judgment thing. But I would rather have in my opinion, I would like to hope that I would pick a hard but meaningful life.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said too about the place for art in this discussion as well. Like what you derive meaning from is also what's going to decide your decision here. Like if music and books and movies are the thing that you derive the most meaning from in your life, then peace is better because you have more free time to do those things. So more people will be doing them, so those things will be better. But some of the best books and the best movies and the best music come from people who have fought through a great hardship. So it's like a snake eating its own tail, kind of. That was a really good one, man.
That was
really
pretty
nice.
Good. Cullen, what do you think? What'd you pick?
I answered first, sir.
Oh, answer
What did
again.
you pick?
I picked peace.
It
No more
gives you
Funkos for Cullen.
Well,
But he
no, I
won't
mean,
care.
technically in this, yeah, I mean, it would be if that is just what would bring you peace, I guess. I don't know exactly how it would work, what the stipulations are, if it would just
You're
be
fucking-
absolute indifference, but
We need to end this episode, so I'm not going to say things. But
yeah.
bring this up another time. Let's bring this up in like a year and just do an episode about it.
Oh, I'm yeah, this is part of
Give it
my
enough time
writings.
to
Yeah.
sit.
This is something that I'm still going to be thinking on.
I have a very small, very quick one we can end on if everyone's game. Tacos versus burritos. Go.
Burritos,
Easy burritos.
not even
Fuck.
competition.
Um,
If you say tacos, you're uncultured, you're lesser, you're a joke, you're a comedic human being, and not in a good way.
Alright,
it
see,
depends
Tom,
on
you're
the
unserious.
fucking
Street tacos,
mood I'm
dude.
in, dude.
Street tacos are where it's at. I'd rather
Sometimes you like
Tacos,
crunch.
burritos.
I'd rather
Burritos.
have
That's
more
answer.
tiny tacos than one giant burrito.
This is some Thomas Hass answers, Caden. I expect it from him. Okay, I knew he was going to be a taco guy. I knew it, but it's
I
a
love burritos though, but like I
No,
don't know because
No, you
sometimes I want a crunch though, a
Mhm.
crunchy taco.
That is
Why do you want
fair.
that?
Some burritos do have Fritos in them,
Fritos.
which will give you the crunch.
or
That's
just red
legit.
strips.
Are we talking like make your own burrito or like somewhere like
You can-
from somewhere?
Or, why are you putting weird stipulations on the burrito but not the taco?
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. So it'll be
You're an
vice versa.
unserious human being, sir.
I'm just saying, if I go to Chipotle and I'm in a hurry, I will get the burrito. But if I'm trying to enjoy my meal, I will get the 3 tacos because I can get 3 different meats, 3 different shells, 3 different salsas. I like variety. More smaller things.
And every Chipotle worker hates you.
They do. I call it the tour of fake Mexico. I get a soft barbacoa taco with green sauce. I get a hard steak taco with red sauce. And I get a soft chicken taco with all the sauces and extra sour cream. And then my stomach hates me, but I love my life.
Team taco.
Team taco.
Gross.
Bye.
See ya.
Always divided.
Goodbye, everyone. I love you.
Goodbye.
Sorry,
Good
my
night.
internet sucks. We post every episode on our YouTube page. Search Highly Visible on YouTube to find us. You can give us a like on our Facebook page, Highly Visible Podcast. We also all use Twitter, and our usernames are all at HighViz, whatever our name is. Dan, Cullen, Caden, and Thomas. We also have a page on Instagram at HighViz Podcast. And Thomas and I are on TikTok, and now our podcast has its own TikTok. And you can find us at HighVizPod, at HighVizCullen, and at HighVizThomas. And if you want all this info in one place, our link tree is linktree.com/highlyvisible. Thanks, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the episode.